studios of TLC Talk Radio. It's DT on our minds. I'm your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and of course, Instagram. We are also, of course, on the station you're listening to, TLCTalkRadio.com, 24/7 edutainment. Hey, friend.
Hey, friend.
What's happening?
Oh, lots.
Yeah. You've had a hell of a week.
Yes, I have.
So if you wouldn't just post stuff like lockdown, what? Lockdown? Of course, now I'm 5 hours behind.
Right.
What happened?
So first off, the beginning of the day, or not the beginning of the day, about third lunch, we have 4 lunch periods. Right before third lunch was supposed to start, which is our largest lunch.
Okay.
We have like 200 and some odd kids come in at that time. Mm-hmm. There is a fire alarm that goes off.
Oh, okay.
So we all have to evacuate the building. I needed to finish wrapping up some Italian sausage, which did not happen.
I mean, it was a fire drill.
The line.
So,
yeah. So we were outside and found out that the home ec classroom started a fire.
Somebody gets a 0.
Yeah. And, it was our fault. So what was really weird, though, there was 3 ambulances.
That's correct. Hilarious. All right.
I don't know who they were for.
I mean, maybe they wanted to come outside. Maybe.
Yeah. But it took a really long time for the fire department to get there. And the fire department is literally 2 blocks away.
Is it?
Yes. And I was like...
Maybe they were on another call. Yeah, let's go with that.
I'm going to go with no.
All right. Well, I'm team firemen, so...
I'm not against firemen. I'm just wondering why it really took a long time.
I'm sure there was a reason, though. I don't know what that reason is. But I promise you there was a reason. And it was valid. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Like, if you know where Richie's is and you know where Park 4's fire department is, it's not that far.
Yeah, they were coming from somewhere else. I like that one.
Okay.
That works for me.
You can go with that.
Okay.
That was the first thing that happened. Then, right after our 4th line, while we were cleaning up and stuff, security comes out and goes, "Nobody can leave without an escort." And we were like, what? And so 20 minutes after that happened, we get an announcement that we're on hard lockdown. Now, none of us know what's going on.
Yeah.
And so we locked all the doors, but we don't turn off lights or hide or shut up, because we got stuck the whole time.
Inviting the murderer.
Like, come on in the kitchen. I'll throw a knife at you.
I was going to say, that's probably a poor decision
right.
on the villain's fault.
I'm like,
villain's part,
we have lots of knives.
It's not going to work out for
Just
you,
saying.
sir.
And I know how to throw them, so...
We'll talk about why you know how to throw them later. Go on.
Because it's fun.
Okay.
What? Shooting guns and throwing knives are fun.
I mean, I'm with the guns. I've never thrown a knife. I'm a fan of the
special
guns.
Throwing knives, actually.
Okay, I've got to introduce you to some of my cousins. They love that.
Really? Mm-hmm. I don't want to do hatchets, though. I've seen that, and those look. Sometimes they come back and chop you up. I'm not interested.
Finish your story.
Okay. So, probably about 15 minutes later, they come back on the announcements and say, "Okay, we're going to go do a soft lockdown, so you can turn your lights back on and continue with class." We already had our lights on because we never turned them off.
And continued with your
we
work.
Continue with, no, we were kind of done working. We were waiting to leave.
Got it.
We're just like, can somebody pick, take us to our cars? Anyone?
Please.
Someone.
Anybody.
Yeah. So another 10 minutes went by, and then our head of security came down, and she's like, "All right, single file line, let's go."
Hilarious.
And we all just roamed right out of the building, and that was the end of that.
Okay.
But they let out on time, and there was no actual incident.
And that's the blessing. Like,
Yeah.
what happened? Do you know?
I heard that there was some chatter about a shooting that they were going to do. Someone was going to do a shooting.
Okay, there was a planned shooting. Jesus.
Yeah. And then I found out this morning that one of our other high schools, somebody was shooting pellet guns at the buses.
Because that's what you should do.
Yeah.
You should shoot pellet guns at buses.
I'm like, what? This week.
Really?
Thank God it's Friday.
Man,
Because I am done.
I am exhausted.
Poke me with a fork.
No, that's violent.
No, like I'm done. Like
I
a
get
turkey.
it. I'm teasing. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. My week has not been so eventful with work, although today I was pleasantly surprised. My students knocked on my door. They were in the student council room with my colleague, and I was like, what do you babies need? I'm trying to teach. We were right in the middle of the lesson on velocity, and they said, you've been chosen. And I was like,
Of course I have been.
no, I was thoroughly confused. Like, huh? Chosen? They were like, we chose you as the best teacher. I said,
Aww.
what? They were like, and we need to interview you at 1:45. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I have my makeup bag. And I was like,
no one warned me.
right. I'm like, what are we shooting on? So now the students know that I've said I'm in media, but they don't know exactly, what I do.
Right.
And the facilitator does know, but she forgot. And so she was talking to me. She was like, wait a minute. This is what you do. I was like, so what we shooting with? We got a tripod. What is going? We got some mics. Like, if I'm on it, it's got to be a production.
We need some plan here.
So, of course, there was no plan. She was like, well, I'm going to shoot in my iPhone. And then it dawned on me. I just seen it in my purse this morning. I was like, I have a camera with me today. And she was like, you just got a camera in your purse?
Well, yeah.
I am Tasha the paparazzi. Like, that's literally my nickname in the family. Paparazzi.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I was not aware.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So I always have a camera. We always have to take pictures. Like, that's the rule.
All right.
It just is. So we shot it, and I'm producing from the chair. I'm like, you're not excited enough, baby. She's the president of the student council.
I'm going to need more.
It was really good. These kids are really nice. And so I enjoy the working environment I'm in. I've been in some places where it wasn't so much fun because you're dealing with a lot of administrative crap. Mm-hmm. But I enjoy where I work, and I have a solid team. So one of the questions they asked was, Ms. Clepton, what's the most, exciting thing about being in Roosevelt? What's the best part of being here? And I was like, y'all gonna be mad, but my team. Like, I love y'all fun. I was like, but the ladies I work with, I was like, everybody here is nice. And if they aren't, they haven't shown that to me. I ain't
Because they're afraid of you.
Well, I've heard that, but I'm going to just move past it. But my team is solid. So shout out to Mrs. Linder and Mrs. Smith and Mrs. Evans and Miss Young. Like, seriously, if you go to work with people who are crazy, then it makes the day that much longer. Mm-hmm. So I work with a group of ladies who are phenomenal and hilarious.
Awesome.
So that makes it, fun. So if there's a stressor, we can kind of pull each other back.
Right.
But yeah, so that was interesting for me today.
Aww.
That was good today. It was a good end of the week because, okay, so everybody, I'm dating, and we've talked about this before.
Uh-huh.
I'm not dating no more. So I can't take it.
Okay.
I can't take it. Okay, so, and I mean, this is the risk you run if you date me. You might end up as a topic on the show. So
just know it will happen.
I mean, good or bad, good, bad, or indifferent. And I don't think it was bad. I think I was just kind of in a space where I was like, well, I have to learn. And I'm clear about it intellectually. But sometimes in practice, I have to remember, okay, not everybody thinks the way I think. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Diversity is important. But there's some things here past 40 that I just expect. So my fault for having expectations. And I said, I need a minute. Our friend Wendell was like, I'm tired of these stories. Because I constantly talk to him and his wife like, help, you know. This is, you know, I send them a rundown and they're like, what? So one gentleman who's a really nice guy, sent me a picture, and it said, it was two people on vacation on the beach, and the gentleman's shirt said, if lost, return to Bay, and her shirt said, I'm Bay. Cute.
Yeah.
He sent it to me and said, hey, I was thinking about getting these for us when we go on vacation next year.
What?
Who? Who you talk to? Maybe he meant to send that to somebody else. So then, no LOL. No follow-up. I said, this is too much. I'm going to sleep. It was in the evening, so I did send it to some Jeep. It was late, and so I make a habit to not respond later than I want to be text. So if I wake up,
3 o'clock in the morning.
but I knew you might be on your way to getting up, and I know you, and I ain't trying to date you. So
there is that.
So I'm like, but I can be up and see a text from my mother that she sent while I was asleep. If I respond at 3, then she'll feel it's okay to start texting me at 3. So I'm like,
no.
I'll text her at 9. Hey, boo, even though I've been up for 6 hours.
Right.
You know, I just don't want to start that precedent. But I sent it out to my male cousins and to Wendell. And they were like, y'all dating? I was like, no, we've been out on a couple dates, good times each time. Never talked about a relationship. And I was like, I don't know. And so my initial thought, and I watch Forensic Files too much, I know that. So I'm always like, is this, because it could have been a joke, but this could have been you made up this relationship in your mind. So because I'm green to dating, I reached out to some men I trust because maybe this is a male perspective that I don't understand. Right. So let me ask. And so they weren't pleased. So and I was like, okay. So now one of my cousins said maybe he's going, full court press. He sees what he wants. He's going after it. I said, okay. That made sense. Yeah, but that wasn't quite how it went because there's more to this story. Okay. Because when I responded the next morning, I hit back with the Bitmoji that where she's looking at her phone like, what? And I said, it looks like you've skipped a few steps. No? Right. And so, and he was like, oh, I just did that for the shock value to see. And I was like, I'm the wrong somebody to do that to. Not because anything's wrong with you. Right. I'm a weirdo sometimes. So right. I'm like, okay. And so I said, listen, without context, that was pretty scary. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't know each other well. We don't. We've been out twice. Again, nice guy. I know some people he knows very well. And so I said, here's some unsolicited advice. Like, don't send something like that to women you don't know well because you don't know how they're going to perceive it. Right. And I said, I got to go work out because I like donuts. And have a good day. And so he said, you too. And that was the end of it. 24 hours later, I got a message that was like, hey, I never would have imagined that sending you, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember exactly and I'm not about to read it. But basically it was like, I didn't mean, he wasn't like apologizing like he did anything wrong because he didn't. Let me clarify that he didn't do anything wrong. It was just off-putting because we have never gone there. Right. Like it's always been just friendly conversation, much like I go to dinner with you, except he's a guy. And so we're at the get to know you piece. Right. And so, again, the vacation, I was like, is he the Joker? And he done made up because I'm nervous about, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. So he was like, he said, I wish I had been the first person to, he said, I never would have guessed that a conversational meme would have basically rubbed me the wrong way. Again, I'm paraphrasing. And he was like, I guess I won't send you the other 200 memes in my phone. Please don't send them all at once. And I thought it was sweet. But maybe pick a different one for somebody you don't know well.
Right.
And so I was like, he was like, I'd love to know, this is what annoyed me. I'd love to know who or what hurt you so badly that you're so cautious. I'm sorry, I skipped a part. I explained to him that I was very cautious and I'm new to the dating game.
Right.
And so that was why I'd reached out to the men I trust.
Right.
Not some of my cousins, because they crazy. Like this, I ain't talking to you.
I think you just wanted the funny stuff.
So I'm right for right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Until we say, okay, well, let's try to be in a relationship.
Right.
And so, he was like, I'd love to know who or what hurt you so badly that you're so cautious. And I felt like, now here's the unfair part, because he had a point. He said he wished I had talked to him first before reaching out for counsel. All right, I get where he's coming from, but from my perspective, I don't know you, so I'm gonna talk to the people I do know.
if we were in a relationship already, but we've only been on 2 dates,
right? So I said, I understood where he was coming from, though.
Right.
And I said, he said, I meant it as a joke. I said, yeah, but you explicitly said when we go on vacation next year. Like, it wasn't no follow-up. It wasn't no LOL. It was so without context and without knowing you. And that's
right.
So that's the piece that gets lost in text messages.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely.
We lose the context. And so I can only go with what you said. There's no way for me to know. That's probably why emoticons were made. Remember, they were called emoticons? And, and so now they're emojis and bitmojis and all kinds of other things.
Emojis.
Right. So that's probably why they came about. So that you can kind of add a little depth of context to it. No problem.
I still...
I agree with you. So I knew exactly where you were going. So I was like, okay, just... All right, that's one. I ain't finished. Right. So,
oh, good Lord.
So another guy I met on a different site. We talked on the phone, and I said, as he was talking to me, he is either drunk or has a speech impediment. I'm not clear.
Or both.
Listen, he was so drunk yelling at the TV last Thursday. I said, oh, okay. Just so, we're talking, like, I'm looking for something specific. And I was like, he told me he had been married. I said, are you looking to get married again? We'll see. Oh, you ain't gonna date me for 12 years. It's not gonna work out. Okay, it was fine. So he asked me what I did for a living. We talked about it. He told me his mother was also a teacher. Great. After 10 minutes, he was like, so what do you do for a living?
Oh.
I'm a teacher.
Like your mom. Remember this conversation?
Oh yeah, we talked about that
10 minutes ago.
So, he asked me after I was like, well, I gotta go. I gotta call my accountant back. I was lying. I don't normally lie, y'all, but I couldn't come up with nothing. I was sleepy. And I really had just gotten off the phone with my accountant. And I said, yeah, I need to call him back. I did need to do some work, but I didn't need to call him back. And I said, yeah. All right. And he was like, am I gonna hear from you again? I was like, probably not. All right, then. Ouch.
Why'd you bother lying then?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, let me get off the phone. I don't know. They agreed. And so then...
Let me hit you back later. That is code for, I'm never calling you back.
I don't think. So then I ain't finished. There's the other guy. You might have seen this one on Facebook. Good conversation pre the phone call. We actually had a date planned for tomorrow when I got out of our event at Cosmopolitan Community Church, where we'll be feeding the entire community for free.
Cool.
5249 South Wabash. Moving on. As we were talking, I asked him, I said, so have you ever been married? And he said, oh, I was engaged. I was like, oh, okay, relationships end. Like, I'm not.
So that's no.
Right. So then he came back after he finished telling me a little bit about what happened. Nothing major. He didn't say anything, inappropriate. He said, well, you know what? I was married.
You forgot?
That's exactly what my mind went. And so, listening to all these conversations, I kept walking in my basement trying to determine if you and Ashton Kutcher were down here setting me up. Because clearly I'm being pumped. And so I'm like, really? And so then as he's talking to me about why they split and, she was doing this and she hopped in the car and pulled off and he hopped in the car with his cousin and chased her. Oh, y'all out here? That's what y'all doing?
Were you 12?
Then he went into, and then I packed all our stuff and put it on the porch and then... we got into an argument and next thing I know, I was choking her.
Oh, what?
Scooby-Doo was in the back like, oh. So I'm looking at my phone like...
What?
Again, I'm looking for Ashton Kutcher. Because...
What?
Are we even still doing punked? I mean, maybe it was a revival and they chose me because my reactions are authentic. So I'm like, the SpongeBob meme where he's like, well, I'm gonna be heading out.
I'm gonna be heading out and gonna be blocking you. Bye.
Exactly. So I didn't block him. I thought I would be gracious, and so he hit me with, "Don't hit me with, hey, beautiful." Anybody y'all say with?
God.
Please don't do that to me, because I have a mirror. Yes, I am beautiful. I'm beautiful on the inside and out. That's not the point. That's generic. Until we are in a relationship where you should give me a pet name, don't do that. Because I'm cool with pet names.
See, I'm cool
with them.
Really not.
And see, so whoever's dating you should understand that. And so if they come up,
I'm okay with him giving me one.
That's what I mean.
But even in past relationships, no.
Yeah.
You're just trying to forget my name, and
it's generic
because you're probably with other people, and then you're just kind of I can't remember your name, so I'm going to call you Bae. Right.
So I'm just like, I don't know if you were just being. I don't like that because I don't especially if we're in a relationship and you decide that's going to be my moniker, I'm with it. I agree with you 8,000,000%.
I don't know if
but that's just me.
Right. So
he hit me with the hey beautiful and I hit back with hey so-and-so. Look, yesterday's conversation made me incredibly uncomfortable. And because I did say that on the phone, I was like, so you got to know that this is uncomfortable.
Right? You do acknowledge that, right?
And so now here's the thing.
That marriage that you forgot about?
But then you was choking her. Hell, I might jumped over the other piece, but you was Do you know how unwell this will go for you? This will not go well.
Right.
And so I said,
I know how to use my gun.
Hell, it's my cousins you should worry about. I'm the nice one.
But still, remember.
Right.
It ain't going to be me.
So I'm like, exactly, I'm not going. And so I was like, I just don't think we should talk anymore. And he said, all right. Which, I didn't know what to expect in his response. I was like,
all right.
For real? And so
I'm okay with that.
Right. I was cool with his response. Here's the thing about Facebook, the Facebook dating app. They'll tell you who you're friends with.
Oh.
Yeah. So I had already checked him out to see who he was a friend with. And I'm not very close to the person we only had one mutual friend. I wasn't very close to that person. But I was just like, yeah. So Wendell said, he said, I am tired of the he said, here's what I'm looking to hear from. I'm looking to hear from the spiritual guy, the entrepreneur guy, the fun guy. Like, I'm tired of these stories. I said, I'm tired of these stories.
You're tired of living them.
And here's another word of advice without going into a lot of detail, because this guy I do like. But if something is going on with you that makes it where you can't date, you need to use your words. I had been talking to a guy for almost a month, and we had only gone out once. And I'm not concerned with what your financial status. We just started talking.
Right.
But what you're not going to do is phone me to death. You're going to figure out a way to see me, or you can go on with your day. And so
but B and I only phone, like
that's cool. But if we live
he
in
lives really far away.
that's very different. But he lives in the same space.
Right.
And so it was like, you just, so I got a message that was like, what you looking like today? Because I'm an ass. I said, you'll find out when you take me out. And I don't mean, let's go out to McCormick and Schmidt's.
Right.
That's not what I'm saying. Like, I like McCormick and Schmidt's. Let me throw that out there.
Just so you know.
So that we're clear. And Catch 35 and Theo's. Moving on. I like seafood. And so, and I'm bougie with it. I want them to open the crab legs for me. So,
Ew.
I'm just saying. I'll go to Red Lobster, but take me to Catch 35. Moving on. But I'm also cool with coffee. I'm also cool with the park walk. I'm also cool with the museum. I get financial situations.
Right.
Hell, I'm living one because I just launched 2 businesses.
Right.
So I get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But say that. Say this is an issue. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I'm okay with that. And then we can work around it. Because if we're going to, because I'm looking to partner up permanently. So if we're going to be partners anyway, we're going to have to have these, that ain't even a hard conversation.
No, it's
so we're
not.
going to have to have harder conversations. So if you're not, that's flaggy for me. If you're not comfortable enough to have that kind of conversation, it's like, what? You going to hide other stuff from me?
Well, that kind of is a
Maybe.
money, because it's a pride thing a lot.
The guy was great. We are resetting. We'll see. Because I thought, you know, he was a really nice guy. I was looking forward to seeing what could happen, but you just unavailable all the time.
See, I don't even need to go out. I could just hang out.
But that's what I mean. I was cool with that. So we both like Forensic Files.
You could sit and watch
And that's
hours
what I
of
said.
that.
He sent me a really nice message apologizing and explaining the situation. And I said, exactly that. I said, we could have just sat and watched Forensic. That would have been fun to me.
Right.
You pop some popcorn and we watch Forensic in the daytime. I can't do it at night. And I'm a weirdo. And I'm clear on who I am. But for you to not say anything.
Right.
And so it's been 30 days and we ain't seen each other. I'm on my way, you know, to just
Other
putting you
things to do.
right, because we're all busy, and so you know that was we're both very busy. I've been on a couple dates. What you mean?
Right.
They wasn't with you,
Right.
But
obviously,
you know,
because we wouldn't be having this conversation.
but he's a nice guy, and I believe we're human. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in the reset, but yeah,
You only get a couple of those, and then
one
it's,
because I'm old, and I don't mean that in a derogatory sense. I am proud to be 40 plus. But that also means I don't have a whole lot of time for foolishness. Like, I'm not going to coach you.
yeah. By this age,
Exactly.
you should have some kind of foundation on how this should go.
That's all I'm saying. I think we are saying the same thing.
Just a little foundation.
And that's okay. You know, everybody's different. Everybody has a different set of experiences. Like, I'm not mad at any of that. But again, talking. So, you know, it's kind of like what dude was saying to me. He was like, I wish you had communicated with me first. Yeah, but you this was crazy.
Yeah. You should have threw an emoji.
Because if you knew me, you would have known I'd have saw that as flaggy. Not
Right.
a flag, but flaggy. Like,
Right.
I
don't know. You're on the fence.
Yeah, Wendell was like,
So does that mean that you're going to buy a trip for us? Are we going further in our relationship or getting a relationship? Is that
right, I'm not in a relationship.
Projecting what we're going to do in the future? What
Right.
is happening here?
You're speaking into existence. You know,
Like, this is very confusing.
It was, and so that's why I did respond. But I also needed to kind of be like, let me sleep on that before I respond. You know, let me get some counsel. Let me sleep on that. Let me do what I do. But dating is hard. I was talking to my cousin, brother, pastor, and he said, "Ooh, I'm glad I ain't out there." I said, "Lord, I can't." Yeah, and so I absolutely turned off all my dating apps. I was like, well, I'm over this. I'm not dating anybody. I give up for the immediate time being.
Yeah.
It was a little too much. I was like, y'all crazy out here. Good day. And so now I know why some cultures do arranged marriages.
Well, speaking of speaking things into existence, that is something that you need to do. Is
Agreed.
Who you really want, not who you think you want, but exactly what you want, and who is going to fit into your life.
I made a list this morning.
Good.
And said, God, hey.
Yeah, but you got to be
Help.
specific because
Listen, he probably was like, what now? Okay, I'm writing it down.
okay,
All right. Yeah. So, and that's important to me. Like, what is his spiritual life like? Like, I don't want a church goer. Anybody can go to church.
Right.
It's like me standing in the garage. I'm a car. You are not.
This is not correct.
Right. Yeah. So that's been my week. So you had craziness. Oh, okay. You had craziness at work, and I had craziness at. I don't know where the hell the craziness was at. It was. I'm gonna move on.
Oh, I do have one positive thing that happened at work. I got perfect attendance last month.
Of course you did. Did you win that when we were in school? Perfect attendance?
I did.
Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah.
I did not. I cut class often.
I was there 2 to 3 hours before class. I was there until class ended. I was there on days that I didn't have to be there.
Yeah. Now, I would come in early because I was a teacher, and I would get in, I get off work, and I taught on the west side. So coming downtown, I'm there in 20 minutes.
Right.
And I'm cool, but I would come straight up Harrison and but no. I remember being late to Devontae's class because Bulu Master was spinning at Millennium Park.
Nice. Yeah.
We're still angry with Devontae, by the way.
He did actually, didn't he like the post or something? At least maybe on my Facebook.
I'm gonna hit him in his head.
Yeah.
I said it. What you gonna do?
Not come over here, obviously.
That's all right. I'm gonna be to see him during my Christmas break. I got something for him.
Oh.
He ain't gonna like it. He ain't gonna like it. It's a great show. This was number 20.
I know.
Check us out. From the studios of TLC Talk Radio, this has been DT on Our Minds. I am your girl, Tasha.
And I'm that fat girl, Dana.
Don't forget to follow us on all of our social media pages, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Catch us every day on TLCTalkRadio.com, 24/7 edutainment. We will catch you next week.
Peace.
Peace.